I'm hot-footing it out of Ho Chi Minh City and flying 1,500 kilometers north to the capital, Hanoi.
I don't like racism either, but why are people who spam N-word in chat being banned but rap songs or Twitch clips licks Soldier Boy saying the N-word are okay? I dislike black people who say the N-word. When someone says XQC is an Overwatch streamer.
Actually kill me, dude. Dude, I'm gonna play a game. I'm gonna pretend, dude. I'm gonna pretend like you didn't say shit. Actual retardo.
It's a huge learning curve for me. It'd be very ignorant from a chess point of view not to embrace their understanding of they waste nothing and eat everything.
Fuck, right.
Hanoi is a communist stronghold. Traditionally, this part of the country has a no-waste culture. They are experts in nose-to-tail eating, and one notorious female chef has made a reputation cooking just one ingredient.
Now, this lady's a bit of a hard ass, bit of a legend. I'm in Hanoi for 2 days, and I'm here for inspiration. I'm gonna get in there, see what she's up to, and hopefully, yeah, like a magpie, steal some ideas what she's doing. Jesus. Where's the boss?
Hello.
Hi.
How are you? Good to see you.
Chào. Sao đẹp trai thế?
Gordon.
Ông tên là gì?
Hold on a Z.
Ông tên là gì á? Ông này.
What's your name? What's your name, man?
Luckily for me, a local restaurant owner has come to my rescue.
Madame Khoa.
Madam Quack.
Khoa. Khoa. Madame Khoa học.
K-H-O-I.
Madam Quack. I thought you said quack. Like
So chat, guys, dude, I'm not normally dishonest with chat. I'm not normally like fully honest, dude. But
Watch this.
I had to go check for juice. After that loud juice earlier.
Rice, call me Quan. Quack. Yeah.
Mr. Rice and Mrs. Duck.
Yes.
So where's Mr. Peking? I don't want to piss her off.
Yeah.
I want to keep her on the good side.
All right.
Yeah, I heard she has a ferocious temper.
All right.
3 cleavers
Don't
on the side of
tell
her.
Mày là chú
Very
ý.
sharp, very sharp.
Yeah, yeah. How many ducks a day does she sell?
Madame Ngan.
Madam Yan.
Ông Tây đặt cho Madame Khoa là Madame Ngan.
Duck Ladies is the name.
Madame Meow.
She kill about 100 ducks a day. That's why her name is Duck Ladies.
Tại vì bán nhiều con ngan. Bán nhiều con vịt con ngan quá.
How many husbands has she killed?
One.
Mrs. Duck has spent
Oh,
30
God.
years perfecting her menu.
Back.
But before I get to taste it, she wants me to meet her key ingredient out back.
Oh, chat.
Baby's here. How old are they?
Cái này để đây làm gì hả chị ơi?
Don't you fucking dare touch it.
Must be days old.
Bao nhiêu ngày ạ? About 10 days old.
10 days old. And how old are these?
4 months or 5 months.
4 months old.
So,
So which ones are we going to use first?
Guys,
the oldest one.
hey, don't.
Hai con này lớn tuổi
Chat
nhất.
happy Chinese
this one.
New
Nhiều
Year.
tuổi nhất.
In order to find the plumpest bird, Mrs. Duck has devised a unique test.
Này, nghe tiếng nhé.
Guys, I don't know what to skip this. I don't want to skip this. I'm just gonna see what he cooks it, dude.
Me, Mrs. Duck. Mrs. Duck. Chilies.
Mì ớt.
I'm enjoying myself. I'm about to learn Mrs. Duck's sweet and sour sauce. But all of a sudden, she's become tight-lipped.
So nobody knows this recipe bar you.
Suy nghĩ là
Only her.
Only
Nobody
her.
else.
Okay.
Her life. So not easy to give her life.
I'm not asking to marry her. I'm asking for the recipe. It's you and I. Look at me, Mrs. Duck. Mrs. Duck. Chilies.
mì ớt này là ớt.
Chili, yeah.
Lemongrass. Oyster sauce.
Ok.
Yeah.
Dark bean curd. No.
He's double dipping.
Là dầu hào đấy.
Why are you being such a hard ass when I've just plucked your ducks?
She told you even her husband doesn't know about that.
Serious. My God, you, huh? You're one off. She's unique. She's like a fine bottle of wine. They only produce one bottle.
Cái rượu bán rất là quý.
Dude, chill out.
She's amazing. Huge source of inspiration. More importantly, she knows her stuff. I mean, big time. So she hasn't focused on 25, 30 dishes. She's just focused on a unique way with duck. She shows no mercy. Straight in there. Nothing squeamish about Mrs. Duck, is there? A little bit fucking scared.
Disgusting. Duck is horrid.
While her signature dish cooks, I'm going to sample the rest of Mrs. Duck's menu.
So many different ways, different sort of styles of cooking duck. It's amazing.
You want to try the heart if you want to? Easier.
Nice and tender. That's good. That's very good.
Hey XQC, thank you for bringing a smile on my face every day. Smile also, watch this please.
That's nice. It's got a leathery liver texture to it.
Now for the main event. The barbecue duck is ready.
So it's mixed with the marinade and then on top of the charcoal grill.
That's great.
And then the fan obviously to intensify the heat.
Yeah.
Oh, she said something.
Nice.
Street food Dan's game, dude. I'd never eat street food ever.
And she's managed to use everything, even there, as a piece of the leg. It's amazing.
Yeah, like street food, like people who make like sausages on the fucking street, dude. Like at TwitchCon, there's a bunch of people in front of the convention who had like fucking push things, right? And they made like sausages, dude. And like, yo, like, you know, buy my food. I'm like, dude, no. Shit's fucking disgusting, dude. I'm not gonna eat your fucking sausages, dog.
Happy Chinese New Year, chat and XQC. Love from China. Let's get more juice this year. I am Weeb BTW.
Dude, this looks like some fucked up shit.
Love you Felix XQCL in the chat.
Y'all niggas, bro, y'all better turn y'all speakers down, bro. I don't give no fuck, bro. I don't care if the music loud, nigga. I'm not your daddy, nigga. Turn your speakers down, pussy, nigga. Y'all stop complaining like some hoes. Fuck wrong with y'all.
I know what that is. Soldier Boy. No, it's not bad, dude. That shit was like a doll, dude. It was pretty scary though. Oh, dude, you can clip
Only
it.
NSL sausages and burgers as street food.
You can clip it, I'll watch it. If you clip it, I'll literally watch it on stream.
Right, the most amazing pork chop served with fantastic
Oh, dude, go Ramsey, dude. Guys, I'm only going to watch one of those. Only one video of those.
mashed potatoes, braised cabbage, and fabulous caramelized apples.
Only one of
First
those.
off, pork chop. Whenever you cook pork, make sure you take it out of the fridge for at least 5 minutes before you cook
Remember,
it.
guys.
It gets up to room temperature, and then it stops the pork from being dry. The most amazing thing about pork is that it needs to be seasoned twice. Once before you cook it, and second as you're cooking it. Nicely season it, salt, pepper, both sides. Mop up the seasoning. This fat
Smile.
here, beautiful. Once that's
Of
caramelized,
course, the salt.
it keeps the pork nice and moist. Let that sit there for 5 minutes before we cook it. It makes it so much tenderized.
So first you
See,
say duck
that's
is
happened with you.
disgusting,
Probably like you did.
and then you say you never eat
Perma
street
Planet.
food. WTF
Also,
duck meat
gets
is
up to
like
room
upgraded
temperature.
pork
Hot pan,
and some
on.
street food
Get the pan
is
nice and hot
super
first. A teaspoon
question,
of olive oil. Hold the pork
question.
by the bone and place it inside. That's the noise you want to hear. 90 seconds each side. Lift it up, turn it over. Caramelize both sides. Really important. Take the pork and tilt it and let the pan literally do the work. Stand the pork up. That way it cooks the back of the pork, starts to render the fat, and more importantly, the more fat you render, the more flavoursome that pork is.
True,
8 hours
actually.
pork chop. Normally, they'll take between 7 and 8 minutes to cook. Once the pork is coloured, a couple of knobs of butter, and you baste that pork. And that butter's giving the pork a really nice nut brown flavour now. By basting the pork, you're adding more texture, and more importantly, you're stopping it from going dry. After 3 minutes, turn it over and do the same to this side. You take it out, you let it rest. Now that's not cooked,
I like
but as it rests
you.
there, it'll continue
Course
cooking.
you
Drain out the
got
pan, teaspoon
that
of oil, some minced
something
garlic,
that I need
chopped
in
shallots.
my
And this is where we
life.
start to make
So,
the most
give
amazing
it
sauce.
to me.
Caramelize the garlic and the shallots. Deglaze the pan. Basically, it's going to wash the bottom
And
of that
wine?
pan and give that amazing flavour to your sauce. Once you start to see the colour of those shallots and garlic changing, Calvados in,
Holy shit.
tilt the pan, Woo. And singe your eyebrows. Reduce that alcohol. Really important to burn that off. And now look at the colour. Once you reduce the alcohol, From there, you take a touch of chicken stock, reduce all that Calvados down, and this is where the sauce starts to go up.
Oh
Bring that up
my
to the boil.
god.
Cook it out for 2 minutes, let it reduce. Right, stock's reduced down by half. Next up, cream. That gives it that.
Okay, I'm done with
More
it.
importantly, it starts to
Now it's
thicken.
terrible.
Bring that up to the boil. And what we're looking for is like a cafe au lait colour. Teaspoon Dijon mustard and a teaspoon of grain mustard. And just
Show me.
gently whisk that in. And look at that. Most amazing, stunning mustard sauce.
Stop with the question marks, dude. Guys, stop with the question mark, dude. If you eat Dijon mustard, dude, please go read a fucking book.
Lift up
Close the stream, go read a fucking book.
in. That sits there on a low heat for 3.5 to 4 minutes. And that pork just cooks in that sauce. Stays nice and tender, and it almost relaxes and cooks at the same time. Right, next up, caramelized apples. Granny Smith apples goes brilliantly well with pork. The flavor and the acidity is incredible. Peel the apple, core the apple, and slice. 1, 2, 3. What we're gonna do now is caramelize these apples, but first off, make a caramel. Hot pan, brown sugar, star anise, cinnamon, and cloves. Lightly season the apples. Salt, pepper. both
Why not just put
sides.
caramel on them?
Once we season them,
Like
make
normal
a caramel.
people.
A tablespoon of brown sugar. The exciting thing about making a caramel is you never stir it. If you stir a caramel, it will start to crystallize. Hot pan, get the caramel melting. Once it starts to change color, we're gonna add the butter, then add our apples. Okay, apples in. After that, star anise, cloves. That starts to make the caramel really nice and fragrant. Hands nice and hot.
Dude, the cinnamon. He says, fuck it, dude. Fuck it. Just throws in the. Hey. Did he just throw in that fucking log?
Really nice and fragrant.
Just logs
Hands
it
nice and
in,
hot.
dude.
Get your butter in. Ooh, Mary, they look lovely. Here we go. Wee. Now, once you pour that caramel, touch of butter in there, and almost let the apples stew. So it's that kind of fragrant, spicy, sort of caramelized apple with acidity that lifts the flavor of that pork. Coming to plate it. First off, your braised cabbage. And we're gonna sit the pork on top of the cabbage. That just sits there. Next, your creamed potatoes. Lift your pork out of that sauce and sit that on.
Alright,
And
that
then
looks pretty good,
just
actually.
Spoon your mustard sauce on top. Lift those caramelized apples and then use that beautiful garnish. Take some of that amazing caramel and just glaze. And there we have the most amazing caramelized pork chop, braised cabbage, creamed potatoes, apples.
Dude,
Done.
how does he do it? How does he make such dog shit dish look so good?
Hypers.
Stupid sucker. Hey, what is
Skirt
this?
steak. This is the chef's dream. We're gonna grill it. So with an amazing chimichurri.
Guys, just one more of Gordon. One more Gordon.
And then do a chorizo and white bean fricassee.
Thumbs up. Okay, champ.
How do you describe skirt steak? It's tender, it's soft, and it is absolutely delicious.
Oh,
It's
chill
not a
out,
steak
dude.
that you cook well done. So we season it first and marinate it. Get it up to room temperature, salt, pepper, and then we lift that flavor with this. This is magical. It's Espelette. It's a really unique pepper from France, and it's spicy, it's warm, it's packed with flavor. The way it tenderizes skirt steak is incredible. Gently rub Espelette into the steak. Take your knife and just literally make little inserts on top. And what this does, it sort of tenderizes the steak. Just hit the surface. Roll it over. Again, salt, pepper, olive oil, Espelette, and just gently nick in, just gently, little grooves. And what happens now is that starts to open up the steak. It allows it to absorb that kind of
heat.
marinade. Puts a bit of heat into the steak. It takes 4 minutes to cook, literally 2 minutes each side. And
Come
then
on, bro.
let it rest. Cook this steak at room temperature. It needs to relax. It's got a lot of muscle in there. Like I said, it's a rare cut. And there's only 3 to 4 skirt steaks from each cow, so you can see how prized it is. From there, onto the grill. Get that grill nice and warm. Make sure you've got all that marinade running through there, and then on. We do this quick.
How's that
and
marinade?
easy.
It's oil
You
with
hear that
seasoning.
noise at the beginning, and you don't lay that down. Take your tongs and go in between each one, all the way along. And that pushes that steak inside that grill. It's caramelizing the pepper,
Last one,
rendering
please
the fat,
watch
and it's
this.
tenderizing the skirt steak so
Thanks for the second
quickly.
ball.
You'll see the actual marks from the grill, almost like you get a stamp on the back of a cow's butt. You own that mark, and that's the flavor. Lift up. Oh Lord, come on. Seriously. Back down. Lay it beautifully on
Is
there.
this a
Get your
21
stamp
Savage cooking
on the other
stream?
side of the butt now.
Free
In,
head.
in. 2 minutes each side. And then it's all about the resting. Now off she comes. Oh boy. And lay that to rest. That is it. But there's more. Now,
Wait, there's more.
Start off with the garlic. Nice pinch of rock salt. That blisters and tears up the garlic so quickly. A touch of sugar from there. Base in and then just hammer down.
Crush it, baby.
And that rock salt and that sugar starts to create a reaction. It breaks down the garlic so quickly. In seconds, you've got this amazing puree, and the sugar takes away from the harshness of the garlic. And look, in seconds, you've got this beautiful, coarse, rough garlic puree. From there, add fresh oregano in, fresh dill in, get your mint leaves.
In.
Just rip your mint
In.
tear it
Thick.
up, and then
In.
from there, coriander, tear that up in.
Don't pull
and
out.
finally, to give it that nice sort of earthiness, your fresh parsley. Now, tear that in there, touch more seasoning on top, and then the zest of a lemon. So you can see we're making this fragrant, incredible chimichurri. Once you've taken all the zest off, squeeze the lemon juice in. Beautiful. Now, back in there and start mixing it up again. I don't want this super fine. I want it quite coarse. And the rock salt and the sugar starts to break down all those herbs. Beautiful. From there, olive oil. Put the olive oil into it sort of just underneath all those herbs. And then one final twist.
There's like a potion.
I mean, incredible. Once that steak has rested, bring the steak over, chimichurri on. I'm gonna just spread that over the steak, nice and thinly. I don't want it too strong, I don't want it too overpowering, but I'm just sort of masking the top of my steak. And as the steak sits and relaxes, the flavor of that chimichurri going into that skirt steak is just incredible. Push that down and let that sit there. I mean, wow, delicious. When I think of the garnish for the skirt steak, it needs to be robust. I'm gonna do like a white bean or chorizo fricassee. First off, I wanna get the flavor of the
like
chorizo
sausage.
out. So I've diced it. It goes into a cast iron pan to break down the fat.
Oh my god.
Chorizo, 35% fat, so it literally fries its own fat. And the flavor coming out of that is incredible. Shallots in, garlic in, let that cook out. The shallots and garlic are absorbing all that flavor from the chorizo. Amazing. Now, in with the beans. I want these beans
ruined,
to
dude.
nice and waxy.
Ruined.
Bring this little fricassee together. As the pan starts to get dry underneath, a couple of tablespoons of chicken stock in. That looks incredible. Now bring that up to the boil, turn down the gas, and start dropping in my rainbow chard. That gives it a really nice sort of zinc.
Beans are
like a
horrible.
Great, robust spinach. Fold that in and let that cook out. And once all that stock is reduced, the beans absorb that stock and it just becomes a really nice, delicate sort of fricassee. How do we get that even richer? Touch of butter off with the gas and just drop in little cubes of butter around. And then look, just fold in that butter. And as that butter melts, it just puts another layer of
you guys
richness
like
into
beans?
those beans.
Who
All
the
the
fuck
colour
are
in the
you,
beans
Pop?
now
I
absorb that
did.
butter. It makes it so tasty. Great. Time to serve. First off, take those beans onto the plate. With the skirt,
Butter.
just slice very carefully down. Just look inside there, how pink and juicy and tender that is. Lift that up, just place that around your beans and take a teaspoon
Oh
of
my
chimichurri
god.
and just hit the plate and then one final hit over the top. It's cascading down. That is my insight to the chef's secret to why the skirt steak is the chef's #1 dream cut. Beautiful.
That actually looks like the absolute juice.